There is a woman who has spent nearly 50 years walking red carpets, standing in front of cameras, and showing up to every single event with the kind of quiet command that makes you stop and look, and you can't quite explain why. She's not the loudest dresser in any room, she's never chasing whatever everyone else is wearing that season, and yet she always looks right. Her name is Meryl Streep, and at 76 years old, she has built one of the most instinctive, self-assured approaches to getting dressed that I've ever studied. What makes her fascinating isn't the designer names, it's the fact that she knows exactly who she is and dresses from that place every single time. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 style secrets she's been using for decades and show you how to apply each one to your own wardrobe. Now, I'll tell you right now, number 5 is the one that completely shifted how I think about getting dressed because it's something most of us overlook entirely, and Meryl has turned it into one of her most powerful tools. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Parker Holloway, and today we're looking at a woman who proves that the most commanding style doesn't come from wearing the most, it comes from knowing exactly what works on your body and committing to it with absolute confidence. So, let's get into it. Number 1 is the power of a great coat. If you pay attention to Meryl over the years, one thing becomes immediately clear. She understands that what you wear on top sets the entire tone. She has been photographed in beautiful trench coats, structured overcoats, tailored duster coats, and elegant evening wraps. And in almost every case, the coat is doing the heavy lifting for the whole outfit. Her stylist, Amanda Ross, has said that Meryl has great taste, and she knows what looks good on her. And honestly, that awareness is what makes her coat game so strong. She doesn't pile on layers of competing pieces underneath. She lets the coat carry the look. What most of us tend to do is treat outerwear as an afterthought, something functional we throw on at the last minute. What Meryl does is make the coat the outfit. I love this approach because it simplifies everything. When your top layer is beautiful and well-fitted, the rest can be clean and simple, and you still look completely pulled together. If you're building your wardrobe and aren't sure where to start, a really well-cut coat in a neutral you love might be the single best investment you make. It frames everything, and it's the first and last thing anyone sees. Number 2 is sticking with what works. This is where Meryl's approach really starts to separate from what most women do. She has a uniform, and she's not afraid to repeat it. You'll see her return to the same silhouettes over and over. Beautifully structured blazers, well-fitted trousers, flowing gowns in clean lines, elegant blouses paired with tailored separates. She is not someone who reinvents herself every season. Her red carpet style has evolved over 5 decades, but the core is remarkably consistent. She gravitates toward what flatters her frame, and she stays with it. Most of us feel this pressure to keep things fresh, to never repeat an outfit, to chase every new trend that shows up. Meryl proves that the opposite approach is the one that actually builds lasting style. When you find a silhouette that makes you feel confident and looks right on your body, repeating it isn't boring, it's strategic. And here's something that connects to what I'll share later about number 5, which is the detail that actually explains why her simple outfits always look so refined, even when the pieces themselves are quite minimal. For those of you who feel stuck in a style rut, this might actually be the solution. Instead of adding more variety, try narrowing down to the shapes and cuts that genuinely work for you and build from there. You might find that less choice leads to more confidence. Number 3 is the art of the statement accessory. Meryl keeps her clothing relatively simple and then lets one accessory do the talking. Sometimes it's a pair of bold eyeglasses, which she wears beautifully and changes depending on the occasion. Sometimes it's a striking piece of jewelry. She tends to keep it minimal, but when she does wear something, it has presence. And sometimes it's a scarf. When she wore Hermes scarves in the film It's Complicated, they generated so much interest that the company reportedly received a huge surge of inquiries from women who wanted to dress like her character. The point is, she doesn't load up on accessories. She picks one thing and lets it become the focal point. What most women do is either skip accessories entirely or add several competing pieces that dilute the impact. What Meryl does is choose one element that draws the eye and keep everything else quiet. I think this is such a smart strategy because it means you don't need a huge collection of accessories to look polished. You need one or two really beautiful ones that you reach for again and again. Start with something that lights up your face, whether that's a gorgeous pair of frames, a silk scarf, or a necklace that sits just right, and let it become your signature. Now, everything I've walked you through so far, those are principles most women could arrive at with enough time and a good eye. But the next few secrets are different. These are the ones that get to the heart of why Meryl's style has endured for nearly 50 years. And honestly, they're the reason she can look extraordinary while seemingly putting in less effort than almost anyone else on the red carpet. Number 4 is understanding your color palette. This is one of the things Meryl does so instinctively that you might not even notice it at first. She tends to work in soft, muted tones that complement her natural coloring. Think dusty rose, soft gray, champagne, navy, and ivory. When she does go bold, she reaches for jewel tones like deep red or rich violet that have real depth rather than brightness. She rarely wears anything that fights with her complexion, and that's not an accident. Color analysis experts have identified her as having soft, muted coloring, which means she looks her absolute best in shades that echo that quality, rather than overpower it. What most of us do is buy whatever color catches our eye on the rack, without thinking about whether it actually flatters our skin tone, our hair, our eyes. What Meryl does is work within a palette that makes her glow. I think this is one of the most underrated style tools there is. When you wear a color that's right for you, everything lifts. Your skin looks healthier, your eyes look brighter, and the whole outfit reads as more intentional. If you've never explored which colors genuinely enhance your natural features, it's worth experimenting. Stand in front of a mirror and hold different fabrics near your face. You'll be surprised how clearly the right shades announce themselves. Number 5 is the secret of fit and proportion, and this is the one I teased at the beginning because it connects directly to why Meryl's simplest outfits always look so polished. She is meticulous about how clothes sit on her body. Her trousers are always the right length, her blazers skim without pulling, her gowns move with her rather than against her. Everything is proportional. The hemline of a coat meets the trouser at exactly the right point. A blouse is tucked just enough to define the waist without looking stiff. She doesn't just pick beautiful pieces. She makes sure those pieces fit her beautifully. And here's what's so important about this. Fit is the thing that separates an outfit that looks intentional from one that just looks okay. Most women focus on the item itself, the color, the brand, the trend. Meryl focuses on how the item relates to her body. I honestly think this is the most powerful lesson on this entire list because it requires no money and no specific wardrobe. It just requires paying attention. Next time you put on an outfit, look at where the seams hit, where the fabric sits, whether the proportions are balanced. If something feels slightly off, a trip to a good tailor could transform it. Meryl didn't get her red carpet reputation by wearing the most expensive gown in the room. She got it by wearing the one that fit her the best. Number 6 is the one that ties everything together. And honestly, it's not about clothes at all. It's the philosophy underneath everything Meryl wears. It's the belief that getting dressed is not about becoming someone else, it's about becoming more fully yourself. Meryl has spent her entire career transforming into other people on screen. She's played a Polish Holocaust survivor, a British prime minister, the most feared editor in fashion, a singing mother on a Greek island. She disappears into characters so completely that you forget it's her. But in her own life, she has never once tried to be anyone other than exactly who she is. She once said that expensive clothes are a waste of time. And honestly, I think that tells you everything. This isn't a woman who is impressed by labels or price tags. This is a woman who understands that the most powerful thing you can wear is your own certainty. And I think that is so relevant for women over 50 because there's this quiet pressure to become invisible, to dress down, to take up less space. Meryl does the opposite. She shows up fully.
She wears what she loves. She doesn't apologize for her age or try to dress around it. She lets every line on her face and every year of her life sit right there alongside whatever she's chosen to wear that day. And the result is someone who is genuinely more striking at 76 than she was at 30. You deserve that same energy, every single one of you. Whether you're walking into a dinner party or just heading out to pick up groceries on a Saturday morning, you deserve to feel like what you're wearing reflects the truth of who you are right now, not who you used to be, and not who someone else thinks you should be. That woman who walks into a room and quietly holds your attention without trying, without following, without performing for anyone, she's not wearing more than you. She just knows exactly who she is when she gets dressed. So the question is, who are you when you get dressed tomorrow morning? Now, next week, I'm going to introduce you to a style icon whose approach is bolder, more colorful, and completely fearless. And yet, it comes from the exact same place of self-knowledge as Meryl's. You're going to love her. All right, everyone, that is all I have for Meryl Streep's 6 style secrets. I hope you found this video helpful and maybe even a little inspiring. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is the one style principle you've learned with age that you wish you'd known 20 years ago? I'd love to know. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, and as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.